There isn't the slightest sign of decay. In fact, this is one of the most well-maintained rooms I've seen in the entire castle. It looks like a nursery in an old movie. A girl's room. Look at this. More little balls. I've had enough of mirrors, especially in this castle. Like in a dollhouse. A four-poster bed, velvet, silk, and lace. Whoever it was that set this up wanted a doll for a child. These windows also look out in the courtyard, just like in... Just another door that's not gonna get in my way. Just another door that's not gonna get in my way. Just another door that's not gonna get... A porcelain music box. And underneath it, the third piece of mosaic. This melody. Oh! Oh! Ah!
Adrian, wake up.
Who?
Your father had changed a lot. It poisoned him. It brought out his dark side, made him go mad. It burnt me.
Mom?
I was pregnant. Twins. The doctor said it was a miracle that I gave birth to 2 healthy children, despite my burns, despite all the suffering. A miracle. At first I didn't want you. You reminded me of him, of what happened, of my scars, the pain. I didn't want to live anymore. But then, these 2 little things just lying there, helpless, innocent. I took my parents-in-law's offer, and after more than a year in various hospitals, we moved here. I needed a hiding place. I didn't want to show my face to the world. You needed a family, and yes, I thought I understood. How would it all come to that?
And Samuel?
Your father didn't know that I was still alive, and he didn't know anything about you two. I started to hate him. He ruined my life, and his parents' life. When he turned up here, after his grandfather's death, I hid myself here in my rooms, and I waited for him to disappear again. Angelina was at boarding school, far away, safe. Friends had told Victoria that Samuel was a broken man after the fire, He didn't seem so nasty anymore, but I was still afraid of him. When the first murders happened, I sensed that Samuel's dark side had returned. However, Bates reassured me. He said that Samuel gave the impression of being quite balanced, and after all, the first incident, William's death, happened before he'd arrived. They didn't believe me when I told them how quickly and completely the curse would take control of him. Bates and Victoria blame themselves for that to this very day.
What was it that drove my father and great-grandfather mad?
The castle. It's the castle.
What do you mean, the castle?
Well, you were a happy child. Both of you were. You enchanted the nurses and were my guiding light in a dark night. But your behavior changed here in the castle, Adrian. You'd just been living here for a few years when you nearly killed your sister. You became aggressive, volatile. One day you pushed Angelina down the big staircase into the hall. It was a miracle that she only broke her arm. She could have been dead.
Did you give me away because of that?
I didn't give you away. It was for your own safety. But I saw Samuel's look in your eyes, Adrian. I was scared of my own little boy. Mrs. Michaels, the cook, who tried to pull me out of the flames and paid with her own health. You can't imagine how happy I was when I heard that your behavior became normal again in America.
You mean this castle made me sick?
The people here believe that there is a curse. Perhaps the curse means that they drive.
Did Angelina grow up in the castle?
No, not really. She went to various boarding schools and was only here during the holidays. A dreary castle and a disfigured, like me. Oh, not the right environment for a child. I think she was always happy when the holidays were over.
What happened then? Why did she look for me?
2 years ago, she came to visit the castle for a few weeks. She skulked around the place, read books. I didn't think she was in danger. All the other women of the family were left untouched by the curse, you see. But somehow it struck her, made her think that she was destined for something bigger, and whispered to her power and fame. Tempting for a child who perhaps never got the attention she needed. Once we worked out that she was absorbed in things that should never have seen the light of day, we took her away from here. We reinitiated the order and hired someone to track her down after she escaped.
Reginald Boris.
Right. Once he tracked her down to Bideford, sheer horror broke out within the order. What would she want from you? Blood? We gave orders to do whatever was needed to keep Angelina away from you.
What role do Bates and Lady Victoria play in all this?
They, like me, have witnessed what the curse can do to good people. So they've dedicated their lives to not letting it happen again.
They've brought the Order back into being. An order that was founded centuries ago to fight against the curse and its repercussions.
Until it was forgotten. We've all paid dearly for that.
Who are the members of the Order?
Victoria, Bates, Eleanor, and myself are committed to the Order.
Because her brother Vic fell prey to Samuel.
That's right.
Did the Order imprison me in the bunker? And kidnap me and take me to Wales?
No. We first found out from Miss Valley that you were here. We decided to get you away from here and tell you the plain truth. But it was like you suddenly disappeared from the face of the earth. We feared that Angelina had got you.
It wasn't Angelina. Or at least not her alone. There was a man with a mask in the jail.
That wasn't one of us. Or at least I hope it wasn't. The Order searched the whole area and we finally found you in our own assembly room of all places. We drugged you and we took you to Wales, to Eleanor's org. Miss Valley was already on the way to explain everything to you. But when she arrived...
Who killed Angelina?
We don't know. Victoria thinks that Angelina might have done something to herself.
Pouring gas all over herself and setting...
No. Perhaps we have another.
Or... could it have been?
Impossible. We followed you through the sewer system. You didn't have time to drive to the cliffs and...
Then it was the great...
I doubt that we don't know him. It must be someone who knows about...
Who?
If I knew, then he knew Angelina was a good child. She had recovered, just like you had.
And what happens to me now?
You have to get away from... We don't know who killed Angelina.
You mean after my...
That's why we have to get you out of here and organize. And secondly, this castle. This whole area isn't good for you. You'll hallucinate and maybe one day do things you don't want.
You mean I'll see things?
I don't know. I only know that it made your father kill.
All right then. I'll go. Mom? Will we see each other again?
Talk to Bates. He'll arrange plane tickets for you. You fly to Florida. It's all too much. I know. But one day you'll understand. We'll talk about it and I'll explain it.
Mom.
Goodbye, son.
So, you know now, Master Adrian.
Yes. Why didn't you say anything?
When I heard your accent, I thought it might be you, Master Adrian. But I only knew you as a child, and from what your adoptive mother said, I was only sure once you showed me the photograph of Miss Angelina.
You knew she was dead?
Yes. Her ladyship and I drove to the scene early this morning. Our source in the police informed us.
Why all the smoke and mirrors? Why didn't you just tell me what I needed to know?
We didn't know how you'd react. I went to the village a short while ago to inform. Lady Victoria thought it would be best to keep you occupied, keep an eye on you.
That won't be necessary.
I'm glad to hear that. Ask Lewis for the tickets. Sally should instruct.
Thank you, Bates.
They've retired. The last...
You know, there must still be an unknown.
Yes, I believe someone was...
Someone from the castle?
Or from the village. At least someone who really knows.
And ultimately cleared their...
И дождь кончился.
Hey, Lewis.
Так просто мы не уедем. Так легко, конечно же, тяжело, но не бывает.
What is it now?
Are you
What are you
back?
talking
Bates
about?
said he'd sent Sally to you. So you drive
Why
her...
a travel agent? If he's thrown her out...
You mean...
I haven't seen her
What's
since...
going on? Are one of those three the murderer? Only one of... Well,
Стоп.
Not if I...
there's nothing.
Салли нету. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
My God, Sally! She's dead. Come on, think, Darren. Bates may have well told her to sort out the tickets. The unknown antagonist then murdered her before she could reach Lewis. That means all three of them could be innocent. Or better yet, anyone in the castle could... Yeah, well, apart from Sally. She's the second young woman that was getting in some... Her face is completely swollen. Some bastard forced her face under the water. She either drowned... What could she have been pointing to?
Сама ничего не понимаю. Может быть, нужно воду включить горячую?
The water is boiling. The water... The water is... a lion's head. The windows... The water is...
Пар.
There really is something written on the tiles. A B. That must mean that Bates isn't the murderer. I mean, how could Sally have written a B on the tiles? And when? As her head was being held underwater and she was frantically fighting for her life? I'm not gonna make it that easy for you. You're gonna have to be a bit more creative. Bates is the one I can trust the most. It seems the murderer wanted to keep me... I have to... Oh no!
Что
The
такое?
castle is burning!
Что?
I can't get out that way.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Okay, think there.
Кто поджег замок? Блин, кто?
I can't get out that way.
Блин. Закрой лицо, закрой лицо.
A large towel.
А точно, нужно же намочить полотенце, чтобы этот дым не лез в горло. Давай. И беги. Бейтс! Сэмюэль? Кэтрин? Или кто? Ничего не понимаю.
Bates!
Adrian, my boy, it's all over.
Don't worry, I'll get...
No. I've spent my whole life in this castle.
But...
Listen, boy. Don't let it corrupt you too.
How should I defend...
Get away from here and don't ever come back. Run, Darren Michaels.
Okay, I'll go.
Господи.
Ah, there you are. I was starting to worry I'd started the fire too soon.
Луис? Ты?
What? It was you? You killed Angelina?
I started the fire, yes. And so don't force me to be one. This is no time for long explanations. The car's waiting. Where?
Академия? Опять?
Alright then, Lewis. What have you got to do with the Gordons? Why are you chasing this illusion?
He's only after the money.
Анжелина!
That's impossible!
Hello, dear brother. So, you still haven't worked it out?
What? What are you doing?
I'm fulfilling my destiny. I will evoke Mordred's power and use it for my own purposes.
Ты сошла с ума.
Boris? And Sally? And my adoptive mother?
She guessed who I was when I was standing at her door. She wanted to warn the Order. I couldn't allow that. She banged her head on the side table. I thought she was dead.
What's this all about? What do you want from me?
I cannot enter the Academy nor the Summoning Chamber without the blood of a male Gordon. You just can't imagine my disappointment when I had to acknowledge that Richard's blood wouldn't do, and my delight when I found you.
And the whole time you never knew about?
No. Our mother and the others kept the secret very well hidden. But then I found some writings which told me everything. I came to Bideford to wrap you around my little finger, and it worked well. I
Ой.
knew that we were bonded by something, and that you'd do anything for me.
What was all that with Reginald Boris?
The Order put him on my back, as I found out shortly after your mother's accident. Boris wanted to sideline me, putting me in the frame for Fuller's murder. My plan was to take you back with me to England. But as long as Boris was around, I was worried that he'd tell you all about me. So I flew back to England and called you up. And just as I expected, you turned up.
And your death? Who had to die for you?
The good Miss Valley built the Order back up again, after there had been no sign of it for almost 100. No wonder that she hung around there so much. Samuel, our father, killed her little brother Vic. I had to protect myself from her.
So you murdered her in cold blood and set her on fire.
And killed two birds with one stone. No pun intended. The Order lost its leader, and everyone thought I was dead to boot. All I had to do was forge my diary entries and lure you into the castle.
Wasn't that a big risk? Sending me into the
Of
castle?
course. But what choice did I have? I couldn't go myself, and Lewis had proven himself to be incapable. If anyone could find the mosaic tiles, it was you. I guessed that you'd found out about our secret. But we always had a plan B for that eventuality.
Set fire to the castle and kill everyone in it?
How'd you arrive at that?
Mom?
Now, get in there. Stand there, Mother.
Listen, Angelina.
Shut it. Lewis, guard the door. Make sure that no one gets in or out. And you...
Let me guess. I've got to open the door.
Correct. Put the pieces in place.
Я бы убила тебя, Анжелина. Ты дрянь! Я догадывалась, что эта сучка еще та. Ай, и представляете, попахивает инцестом. Они же целовались. Дэрен, Эдриан, ты понимаешь, о ком ты мечтал? Об этой
Tile
стерве.
fits exactly into one of the grooves. The second tile fits too. Okay, all the tiles are in place. There are 3 grooves in the stone plinth. Very narrow. There are 3 grooves in the stone plinth. Very narrow, but a few inches deep. You open the gate using the stone discs. Judging by the weight, there's still some oil in them. There are 3 grooves in the stone.
Что же делать?
There are 3 grooves in the... There are 3 grooves. You open the...
А, свеча.
Strange. The candle on the plinth is burning. has to be something about the lion head and the flare. Maybe I can press it.
I don't think so. Cut open your hand on the wall.
You want me to?
Do it!
Don't do it, Darren. You mustn't open the gate for her.
I'll count to 3. 3.
Stop! All right.
That's it! Come on, get in there.
Impressive. It looks like it's been a real long time since anyone has been in here.
This is just the beginning. I can feel the power. Mordred is here. Very close.
Crap.
The Academy's builder picked 8 chosen ones who guard over the power. The gate should only be opened when all 8 are standing on these stone slabs. Otherwise, death will follow. So it says in the old writings.
Oh well, I guess we can forget that.
Don't be stupid. You'll think of something.
She's completely... It's no good. It seems like each of the 8 slabs has... But what if one of the 8 chosen ones suddenly and irreplaceably dies? They must have taken some precautions against that happening. I better take a look around. A total of 8 stone slabs embedded in the floor. Let's see... That wasn't so great.
Почти. Ты чуть... Да это же... Это же смертеподобно.
There's a note lying here. There's a note lying here.
А?
There's a semicircle drawn on the note. I reckon that this is some kind of a user. There's a knife or something drawn on the 3rd tile from the left. Also, there's a flower on the outer left one. The left hand... There's a semicircle. I reckon there's a knife or... Also...
Подожди.
There's a I reckon that this is some kind of... There's a knife or something drawn on the 3rd tile from the left.
Нож.
Also, there's a flower on the outer left one. The left-hand middle one has a sun. The right-hand middle one has water. And the outer right one is a snowflake.
Ребят, я в этом не разбираюсь, поэтому давайте, наверное, мы попозже все это сделаем, ага, в следующей серии, потому что я что-то... Я уже... Я боюсь дальше идти, потому что я не хочу потерять не Кэтрин, ну, Анжелину я бы, конечно, с удовольствием поставила бы и дала бы ей по шее. Да какие по шее? Я бы ее собственными пистолетами Луиса и ее же насадила бы на 2 ее излюбленных почему-то места и прострелила бы ее насквозь, чтобы она больше так не делала. И Луиса бы бросила в одну из этих дыр, например, вон в ту каменную плиту, чтобы ее придавило нахрен. Ой, его. Давайте увидимся в следующей серии. С вами была Брина и Black Mirror 2. Я так не хочу проигрывать, поэтому в следующей серии мы помучаемся. А теперь всем пока-пока-пока. Даррет Шер.